Are you looking to get on the road to your dream career? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Mentor Select Podcast with your host, Derek Phillips. Always stay up to date on social media at Mentor Select and online at mentorselect.com. Here's your host of the Mentor Select Podcast, Derek Phillips.
Welcome to episode 37 of the Mentor Select Podcast. It is truly always a pleasure to have you join us. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the Mentor Select Podcast. That way you can help grow the Mentor Select community and just give more people around the world access to high quality virtual mentorship. I'm happy to report that in 2019, we're really increasing the weekly downloads. It's been really impressive. We're rapidly approaching over 4,000 downloads. So I'm extremely excited about that, and I really appreciate you all for your support. It's been a great journey, and we're just getting started. Other than that, for me, this week has been still working on my book format, design, book cover, all of that stuff. I know you all are like, man, when are you going to come out with this book? The book is ready. It's just a matter of designing it, and then also I have waiting to launch my website, the DerrickPhillips.com website. It's pretty close to being ready as well. So I just want to make sure I pretty much launch all that at the same time. So bear with me. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I'll be able to share with you all what I've been working on. But today we have an exciting interview with Bob Davani. He's originally from Iran, and he's been living in the United States for over 40 years now, but he has a phenomenal story about just him overcoming so many obstacles and persevering through adversity. He's accomplished a lot over his impressive career. He has 3 master's degrees, a doctorate degree from SMU. It's really impressive. So I just want you all to make sure you sit back, relax, and enjoy my interview with Bob Davani. So let's get to it. All right. Today we have Bob on the Mentor Select Podcast. Welcome, Bob. How are you?
Fine. Thank you very much.
So we're glad to have you. You have an extensive resume. It'll take me 10 minutes just to list off all of your accolades. So we're just going to try to cover at least a portion of everything that just your journey and things that you're passionate about within your career. Bob, on the Mentor Select Podcast, we like to get to know our guest mentors a little better. So do you mind sharing something with us that most people don't know about you?
Really, there are a couple of things.
All right.
One is I played soccer with U.S. select team. OT, it means old-timers, long time ago, for over 30.
Okay.
But I don't look like it, but I was very active playing soccer, especially since I was kids, 5, 6 years old, all the way when I came here, and continue playing here with many clubs. I have won many trophies, 122 trophies.
Wow.
Won the state championship and also national champion.
Okay.
But it came with some major surgeries too, knee surgeries, ankle.
All those trophies came at a cost, huh?
Right.
That is impressive. Wow. Okay, great. So who's your favorite soccer team?
Yes, I was member of several soccer teams, and sometimes for a couple of years I played 5 nights a game indoor. But now, take it easy.
Yeah,
just 2 games a week.
Okay, so as far as a professional team, which team do you root for?
Barcelona is one of them that I like.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Well, thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Again, we're happy to have you. Here at the Mentor Select, we really encourage our listeners to follow their passions because we feel that it is the roadmap to their dream career. Can you tell us how you have followed your passions throughout your career?
All the time is for really, I consider as a dedication and persistence. So don't give up.
Right.
And always when I like something, regardless of how long does it take, I was not a man that works from 8 to 5 or 9 to 5. Sometimes in order to finish it, I might have stayed just to solve a problem or puzzle all night. So I was not giving up.
Okay.
And dedication and persistence is something that I can summarize.
Wow. Yeah, those are some important traits to have. What is your area of expertise per se?
I'm in nature engineer, mathematician, and computer scientist. I love solving problems, challenging problems, or sometimes I cannot say unsolved, but really very difficult problems.
Okay.
And that's the one I was passionate about, being mathematician and following with computer science in US.
Okay, cool. So did you grow up in the U.S.?
No, I'm from Iran. I mean, Iran, the one that you guys call it Iran. I came here for higher education. Over there, I finished my bachelor's degree, double major in mathematics and computer science. For master's and PhD, I came to US.
Okay. Wow. So I guess can you explain to us what was that transition like, leaving Iran and coming to the U.S.? Was it a culture shock?
Oh, yes, there are a lot of differences over there. For example, any neighbor knows anybody else in that street, not just by face, by name. They are friends. They get together in the street in the evening. Everybody knows everybody.
Okay.
Here, I live in the same house for about 30 years. The only one I know, my next neighbor, that I saw him a couple of times when I mowed the grass in the summer.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's a big difference. I'm the same way. I know one or two of my neighbors. Wow. Okay. So what was the difference, I guess, going to university in the U.S. versus Iran? Is it a lot more competitive?
Oh, okay. Let me explain over there. To go to universities, for example, when you graduate from high school, we at the time that I was graduating from high school, we had about 450,000 graduate students in all over the country.
Okay.
However, we are limited in number of colleges and universities. If every university and colleges they could accept the maximum that they could, we had 19,000 rooms. So
Wow.
that's the reason there is a big competition when you want to go to college. You have to study all night, all days. And even comparing to grade A, if you have 100, sometimes with 90, 95, you may not be selected because the big competition. The maximum is 19,000 over 450,000. Of course, if you want to select a good university, the competition is much, much harder to get in. So that's the big difference. Here, if the only issue is your money, if you have money, you can find the college or university to go in.
Right. Yeah, that's a big difference. I can't even fathom just how competitive that is.
Yeah, and the penalty is if you cannot get in the university, you have to go and serve in the army. It's not optional because of the strategic point in that area. Every time you may be sent to a war. Then you
right. Yeah, that don't give you many options. That's a huge incentive to study hard.
That's the incentive to make you study hard to get in the university.
So I'm pretty bad at math. I'm sure you know can tell me the statistics. So 450,000, only 19,000 essentially slots for college. What percentage is that? That's pretty low, right?
It's very low.
Like 1% or something.
Yeah, it's a very low percentage.
Wow. So essentially, I know you mentioned earlier about you won a lot of trophies in playing soccer. So are you a competitive person?
Yes, that's my problem. I'm very challenging, and that has cost me a lot. But still, with challenges, that's the way I am living. If there is a job that is not challenging, that interests me.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you, usually people that are really high achievers and very competitive, it can be a double-edged sword. It's great on one side, but yeah, it can get you in trouble sometimes.
Yes, that's true. That's the problem. And also, always I wanted to be number one. I'm sorry, but it's not bragging about myself. That's the way I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
And to become number one is difficult.
Right.
However, more difficult is if to keep being number one. Because after being number one, everybody is after you. They want your position. Then you need to protect your position. That become harder.
Right. Yeah. At that point, you have a target on your back.
Yes.
I guess does any stories come to mind where being competitive got you in trouble?
Yes, of course, as I said, it's not easy. And it was never been easy. And it created some issue or problem, make it harder for myself. It means not that much fun, just harder work hard.
Gotcha. Yeah. All work, no play.
That's right. The same thing, all work, no pay.
Gotcha. Okay. So I know you mentioned did undergrad in the United States. What's your highest level of education that you completed?
I have 3 masters and a PhD in computer science.
Holy cow, 3 master's degrees?
Yes. I mean, first when I came here, I came with the intention of getting master for 2 years. And I got a scholarship for 2 years. But since our maths area in that area of the world is advanced than the math from high school here or college from here, it was very easy for me. And I finished my first master in 1 year and 3 months.
Okay.
But I was approved for 2 years. Then I contacted the university that I'm already approved for 2 years and I finished my first master in 1.5 years. And I can go for a second master. And they said, since your budget is approved, go ahead.
Okay.
So I did my second master and 2 masters I got in about 2 years time frame, because whatever I selected as elective on the first master, it was required for the second master.
Okay.
Mathematics and computer science. And the third one is equivalent to master. I have done 850 hours of management courses and studies while I was working. And I took several days of exams and some prerequisites, such as so many years of being leaders or supervisors or team leaders or manager. These requirements qualified me to take the test for certified manager. And that's equivalent to a master from James Madison University in Harrisburg, West Virginia.
Okay. Yeah, that is really impressive.
Oh, thank you. And my PhD was from SMU, AB.
It's a great school. How long did it take for you to complete your PhD? I'm sure that was a record time.
The thing is, I started PhD, but then during that time we had the revolution.
Okay.
Money was coming, and I had no money to pay. They worked with me that I become a research assistant. They pay part of my tuitions, but there's still no money to eat, no money to pay for the board and room. Then I found a job at Rockwell International. So I was working part-time at Rockwell International and then working almost full-time as a research assistant and working toward my PhD. It took me, it took all my energies.
Okay.
I finished my coursework in 2.5 years, but then at that time, my green card was approved and I started working full-time in the industry. So I didn't finish my thesis. But
Gotcha.
As far as the coursework, it finished 2 years.
Nice. Okay. So you mentioned about when you're working on it and not having any money. What would be your advice to someone who's in college and they're running out of money and they don't know what to do?
I didn't know what to do. I went to talk to advisors, but because I have knowledge and I had, at that time, I had 2 masters. Of course, because my visa I was not permanent resident at that time. Per IRS and INS, I could not work full time. But anybody graduate for 1 master, they can give them 1 year to work in order to get experience. But of that law, I could start working part-time, not full-time. And they gave me a job because of the knowledge and expertise that I had. They gave me a job part-time, but then during the summer become full-time because it has not impacted my education. And during that 1 year and 1.5 years, I applied for my green card and I worked. My suggestion is to talk to somebody to start working somewhere,
right?
Especially in the field that you are working and the field you are studying. That helps you both ways, money-wise and also experience-wise.
Okay, yes, good advice. It's like you're not the type of person who just takes no for an answer or believes in excuses.
Yeah, as I said, persistence and dedication. You have to survive. It's not just that you say, oh, okay, I cannot work, I'm dying.
Right. So how long have you been living in the United States now?
Basically, a long time. And I tell everybody I was born here, but with accent.
Yeah, that gives you away.
I'm here for about 40 some years.
Wow, awesome. That is great. So I'm sure when you tell people you're from Iran, what's some common misconceptions that Americans have about Iran?
Oh, American they have about Iran?
Yeah, just some common misconceptions.
All negative news, and
Yeah,
that's impacted a lot. People are very friendly over there, very friendly, especially to foreigners. They are warm people. It's not that everybody hates other countries or other people. They might have conflict or different ideas between governments, but people are
right.
very friendly. I have some friends that they play soccer with me. They are doctors and American doctors, and
Okay.
once a year they go to Iran. And when they come back, oh my gosh, they say so many good things about it. That why we have problem, why the door is not open, that everybody can go and come back.
Yeah, certainly the news can give us just a false image of something and distort our.
It's not complete image. It's one-sided. Is one
exactly
area, but not complete. But
yeah, personally, I've stopped watching the news because it's just so negative and, like I say, it's one-sided and polarizing. Do you watch the news?
1-2 minutes at the beginning, then I listen.
Just get the highlights.
Yes, the highlights, right?
Gotcha. Cool. Well, yeah, I've known you for a couple of years now, Bob, and I can attest you're so friendly and just supportive and opening. Wow, the complete opposite of what the news reports about Iran.
Thank you very much. You're very nice and kind.
It's been a great experience. But going back to being a mathematician, for somebody like myself who sucks at math, I'm curious, what does a mathematician do as far as for work? What does that entail?
In Iran or Iran is a very big major, is respected a lot because they say people, they use their brain. As a matter of fact, math is the mother of all majors that you want to go in. Even here, if you want to do computer science, you need to have the basic math. But unfortunately here, I didn't see a market for it. And the maximum I see people, they go teach at high school or maybe some university. I don't see that many application or good pay for mathematician here. Whereas over there, the prestige is very high. The prestige in Iran is very high if you're a mathematician.
Okay.
But here, no, just maybe the marketing and sales marketing are better. And one of the questions was if I come back again in this world. If I be in US, I don't select mathematician, but I like mathematics because I liked it, not because of the money.
Gotcha.
It has a lot of prestige in Iran.
Okay. And have you experienced, you mentioned picking math because you like it, you have a passion for it, you love it. Have you experienced working in jobs that you didn't love, that you were not passionate about? What was that like?
I mean, fortunately, the job that I had, it was professional one. Here, either I was tutor teaching math, or I was working at telecommunication that was related to computers. That, of course, computers related to math, or math is used for those courses too. I liked it, so I didn't have a per se job in industry that I didn't like it.
Okay.
However, there are other things that I have done. For example, right now, I don't know it's not by force, but is by choice. But I'm in sales, in real estate.
Okay.
Sales is not something that I'm passionate about. So I cannot be a good salesman because salesman, they're supposed to do some buffing and some exaggeration.
Yeah.
I'll be very detailed and honest, and after that, nobody buys anything from me.
Right. Yeah, I can relate. I have my realtor license. I got a couple years ago, and I just realized that selling real estate wasn't for me. It wasn't my passion. I enjoy watching HGTV, but as far as being a realtor, totally different. And like you say, I'm very honest, and it's hard for me to really try to hype things up or over exaggerate things.
Yes.
That sometimes when being honest doesn't pay.
That's right.
As I mentioned, we've known each other for a couple of years now. I met you through Toastmasters. How long have you been a member of Toastmasters?
I'm member of Toastmasters for 4.5 years. The way I had nothing to do. One time I looked for something and said a speech, or because speaking in public is number one fear for many.
Right.
And then I said, okay, now that I have time, let me look into that. The reason I joined the Toastmaster is because I was going to have some conferences and seminars in front of large audiences, such as 50, 100. I know the materials, I know the content, but of course I'm shy, and I was shy. And then in addition to that, I have accent that at the beginning, many people, they might have problem to understand me. Then I started looking at Toastmaster. I joined Toastmaster after so many years. I get rid of my shyness a little bit. I got some confidence on the voice and my body languages. Still, the accent is there, but it's something that I was born with it. And
Right.
I could improve, but not quite.
Cool. So sounds like Toastmasters has had a positive impact on your life.
Yes, I cannot say negative, right?
Yeah, you speak very clearly, always exude confidence. So yeah, the process works. It's had the same impact on my life as well. I was shy and didn't enjoy public speaking. I kind of ran from it, but after Toastmasters, I enjoy it now.
Oh, very good. You are very, very, very good. I shouldn't say very, very interested, but you're extremely good.
Thank you very much. Definitely, the Toastmasters opened up a lot of doors for me and just helped me see other possibilities that I would have never imagined, like hosting a podcast. That's certainly
Yes, very good.
some I would have never imagined. So within those 4 years, I know Toastmasters has a lot of different tracks as far as communication and also leadership tracks. You're currently the president of the club that I'm in, Pro Speaks. What all have you done within Toastmasters as far as awards?
As I said, I'm very, when I get into something, I want to go to the highest level.
Okay.
At my university, when I was young at Iran, my goal was not only finish it, my goal was be number one, ranked number one in university.
Okay.
It's not grabbing about myself, but that's the way always have been there. I play soccer. I went all the way to become member of soccer university team. Table tennis, the same thing. Here, the same thing. I went and played soccer. I went all the way to a state and national championship. In Toastmaster, there are two paths. One is communication, one is leadership.
Okay.
There are 44 speeches and about 5-6 projects for communication. And leadership is the same thing. Many leadership as far as the club officers, area, division, district, and so on. It takes about, on average, if you are a member of one club and you meet every week and you speak once every month, it takes on average 4.5 years to finish the highest designation for the title, Distinguished Toastmaster.
Okay.
I was the record breaker. 1 year and 4 months, I get 1 DTM. And then in 3 years and 3 months, I got 3 Distinguished Toastmasters designation. That's the record. In year 2016, when you finish 10 speeches and some projects, you have 1 point. You get 1 designation, like a CC, Competent Communicator,
yes,
or Advanced Communicator Bronze. I had 28 educational awards in 1 year. That was a world record.
Wow.
I have done my world record now. I'm taking it easy.
That is impressive, to say the least. So those of you familiar with Toastmasters, you realize just how impressive that is. You're the reigning champ. Wow, that is cool. So clearly you have a strong desire for learning. Is your desire for mentoring and teaching just as strong?
Yes, maybe as not as much as learning, because to me learning is never stops; it's a continuous process. But as far as teaching, I was teaching without pay for students, and also I've been paid as a tutor. And I'm a coach of the soccer also.
Okay.
And I was teaching soccer for the kids with no pay. And I believe that if you are willing to give and they are willing to get, that's a good combination.
It is a great combination.
Yes, very good combination.
It's strange how it works out. The more you give, the more you receive. It's the irony.
Yes.
That's why I always tell people, and I heard this from other successful people, like if you say if you're down on your luck, just give whatever you have, whether it's your time, whatever it is, just give, and you'll be amazed of all the things, opportunities that just comes to you. Just how the universe works.
Very good.
As you mentioned, public speaking is or just universally like one of the number one fears that most people have. But one thing I really love about Toastmasters and I admire is a lot of foreigners are a part of Toastmasters, and a lot of them, they'll come to the United States, they barely speak English, but they're facing their fear head on. They're just jumping right in and determined to learn to speak English. I just love that. It inspires me so much. And I know so many Americans who they don't speak good English, but that's the last thing they would do is join Toastmasters, do anything to try to improve. I just find it so ironic. What would be your advice, especially for some foreigners coming to the United States who are having trouble with their confidence in speaking? What would be your advice?
I mean, as far as like myself, first of all, this confidence and getting rid of the shyness is very important, is very good. It gives you the confidence, it gives you body language and so on. These are the basic element of speaking. As far as accent, probably they need to do something else more because Toastmaster does not work on the accent. They can start talking to other people, getting friends with other American and native language speaking, listening to TVs or radios, and speaking is very important because as far as foreigners, many of them that I am part of it, we are very good as grammar.
Okay.
But listening, because you need to listen and practice, is important, and you don't get it in that country. You have to really be associated with somebody, have a good friend here that you talk, or maybe listen to radio, TV, watch TV to improve your listening and speaking part of it.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I was actually stationed. My first duty station was Germany, so I lived over there for 2 years, and I tried to learn German. I learned a lot of words, but actually speaking it, I was so afraid to speak it. That's usually the hardest part when you're speaking a foreign language, just having the confidence to speak it.
Yes.
So I really admire anyone who speaks multiple languages. It's an incredible feat.
But the good thing about Toastmaster is you can try your speech even without any hesitation, and people, they support you. They don't laugh at you. They don't discourage you. They support you and encourage you. And that gives you more motivation and encouragement to continue speaking. That's a very good one.
Yeah, it's certainly a safe environment and supportive. Yes. Yeah, I know you've mentioned a lot about just how competitive you are, and certainly no shame in, hey, whatever you accomplish, there's no shame in mentioning it, because and it's so deeply ingrained in you because, like I said, and coming from Iran, it's super, super, super competitive. So you have to be, it's just so deeply ingrained in you. It makes a lot of sense. That's a good strength, good trait to have.
Oh, thank you. But I don't want to all be bragging about myself.
Nah.
I'm very competitive, and also, as I said, love challenging, and I like to be going all the way to top. But then when I get to top, I don't know what else to do. Then I go to something else.
Right. I was about to ask you, usually people are motivated. They have like their big why, like why they do something, what keeps them fueled, keep driving, being determined. What would you say is your big why?
The why, you have to go deep so many times, but for some reason, I want to be number one.
Yeah. Boils down to number one. Gotcha. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's good. Number one. It definitely pays to be number one. I'm a big fan of watching like the Navy SEALs training. And that's what they drill at them every day. Like, it pays to be a winner. That's the motto. It pays to be a winner. They don't have no shame in it.
Sounds like bragging, but that's the way I am. I like to be. I may not get it, but that's the one I like to be.
Gotcha. Nothing wrong with that. So what are your thoughts with how, especially with the younger generations, where they're shifting in sports, where it's kind of not a winner, everyone gets a trophy, all of that type of stuff? What do you think about that?
Generation here, when I was kid, very early childhood, we were all in the street playing soccer, we're doing this, running this. But here, unfortunately, the new generation, everybody is at home playing games, with computers. I don't see any activities like that
Yeah.
that much. So that's one thing that with my generation, I don't take it good. I said, oh my gosh, where are the activities?
So we're in trouble, our future. Definitely. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
I recently talked to someone, she was actually from Vietnam, and she mentioned like her kids were born in the US, and she was just so frustrated, kind of some things you were just saying, just how they're essentially Americanized. They're like just want to play games and feel
Yeah,
entitled.
that's true. That's the same as mine also. That's true. First of all, is Americanized, and second, with the new generation, it's not because of American. It's, all other countries, the young kids, the boys, girls, they start playing games, computers, multitasking, iPad in one area, cell phone on the hand, watching TV, and working
Right.
on laptop at the same time.
Multitasking. Yeah, I recently read a book. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. That book really helped put perspective for me in terms of how bad the human brain is at multitasking.
Yes, I saw that. It's for real estate. Gary Keller is from Keller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
that book. He has a lot of great books, but that's one that really helped
Right.
me realize that I'm a horrible multitasker. So it really pays to focus on one thing and accomplish that task, then move on to the other thing instead of trying to juggle 10 different things at the same time.
Yeah, I've done some multitasking. That one article, I challenged the author. They said only do one thing at a time. Nobody can do multitasking. And I said, no, I've done it. Because I was working with two computer systems, one cyber in an old language and Fortran, and the other one for the personal computer PC. When I wrote the program in Fortran, send it there, it takes like 5-10 minutes to come back with the answer. During that 5-10 minutes, I change the language and I go and work on another language like basic.
Okay.
That one finish and I come back here. So back and forth. But
yeah, that's effective multitasking, definitely. Well, Bob, I'm always, when I interview successful people, I'm always curious about their daily habits because I realize that highly successful people have daily habits, something that they kind of do on a regular basis that keeps them focused on their goals. What are some of your daily habits that you attribute to your success?
Oh, thank you very much. I don't know if I'm successful or not, but my mind is very busy, especially even at night. I don't have any 4 hours of sleep straight. Usually I get up at 2 o'clock. I come and check my mail and something. And if I have some responses that I need to send, maybe to this organization, to Toastmaster, to other organization, I do that. Then I go lay down. Then about 5-6 o'clock, I get up, the same thing. So one thing about my brain is active even at night.
Yeah.
But the thing is dedication and don't give up is the main thing. If you love something, if you have a will, then you will.
Certainly. Yeah, I totally agree. Mindset is everything. Have you had mentors throughout your life?
Not specifically, but I did have people that they helped me when, of course, the mentor job is useful. Is the main thing is they be there for you when you need them. They support you when you need them. And also I had mentors that they calm me down because I was upset of some situation in some organization and I was about to give up. I said, forget it, I'll do something else. And they came and encouraged me to stay, and that one helped. The main thing is be there for others, supportive, and also encouragement is another one, that they don't get out of track.
Yeah. Certainly, it's vital. Life can be hard, so
yes.
If you can have a network of support and encouragement, it goes a long way.
Many times, individual it may get stuck in one area, and then the mentor helps that they open their eyes, the brain, they look at outside and they look at further, and they take them out of that spot.
Indeed. And you mentioned earlier about when you were in college and didn't have money and just had to, essentially what you did, you asked for help, and you didn't have a problem asking people for help and talking to people. And that's really good because a lot of times people need help with their ego or whatever it is. They don't want to ask for help, but they really need it.
Especially at that time, one of my professors from mathematicians, he loved me and he said, come on. Then he started looking at some, I didn't know how to look for a job. And he looked at some job in telecommunication and he referred me to go there and I did the interviews. That was a big help. So I got a job.
The listeners out there, if you need help, don't be too proud to ask.
Oh, right.
Don't be too proud to ask, certainly. So often, Bob, a lot of times people, they don't know what they're passionate about. What can they do to really identify what they're passionate about?
They must like something. They must love something. Maybe they don't emphasize on that, but it becomes something like if you don't have passion, just go to work from 9 to 5. That's it. And don't care. Exactly at 5 to come out.
Right.
They become a routine, become boring. Everybody has something, but how to define it? They need to be honest with themselves and figure it out. I don't have a formula.
Right.
They must love something.
Yeah, that's true. I know Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, he says that if you want to find your passion, just identify what you spend your most time doing.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're, especially your free time. What are you doing in your free time that you
the one that you like to spend time for your time, not if you have to work
right.
a job that you don't like. No, that's not.
Exactly. But yeah, it was certainly, I know firsthand as far as being in a job that I didn't like, but it was comfortable and it provided a good living financially, but I was bored and I was miserable.
Yes, I've seen many things like that. But hopefully they get out of it and they find something that they like. Even if they pay less, it's much better to do something that you like than doing something that you hate, but you get twice money.
Yeah, I totally agree. You can't really, at the end of the day, you can't put a price on your happiness and just fulfillment. It's priceless.
It could have a long-term negative impact on your health and your brain or everything.
Yeah, indeed. I totally agree. Bob, giving us a lot of good advice and wisdom. What would be some of your parting words to the audience before we let you go?
The main thing emphasize, if you like to do something, look for it, you will do it. If you have a will, you will. Dedication, persistence, it comes first. Don't give up.
That's a straightforward formula, and that is really that's the key to achieving anything, especially something great out of the norm. Can't go wrong following that advice.
Believing in yourself, that's another one. I mean, if you believe in yourself and you love something, you can do it.
Certainly. And yeah, that's something that a lot of people struggle with. I've struggled with before too, as far as having that self-confidence and believing that I can accomplish anything. With you being so competitive, have you always had just a high level of confidence or have you had to deal with self-doubt as well at times?
For those competition and so on, always I was very confident, or I was thinking that I am the first and I will be the first.
Okay. Good.
So I prepared myself for the being best, not the second best.
Love it. Yeah, that's that's the key there. And, like I said, it goes back to the mindset. And
mindset, right.
Cool. All right, Bob, we really appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule to just give us some knowledge and mentorship. I really love talking to people who are passionate about what they do. It's contagious. We certainly appreciate it. We'll have to have you back on the Mentor Select podcast at a later date to see what else you have accomplished.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bob. You take care.
Thank you. Bye.
What a cool interview. Special thanks to Bob for sharing his valuable virtual mentorship with all of the listeners. Be sure to let Bob know anything about the interview that resonated with you. And if you just have any other questions you'd like to ask him, I'll include his contact information in the show notes. But Bob is always willing to mentor and just help you however he can. So special thanks to him again. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the Mentor Select podcast. The more people we can get to tune in every week for quality virtual mentorship, the better. I'll be back next week with another phenomenal guest mentor, so be sure to tune in.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Mentor Select podcast, helping you identify and follow your passions. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit mentorselect.com and Mentor Select on social media. If you enjoyed today's episode, please rate and review. We'll catch you next time.